Hi, it's MMatickz. As you probably know by now, MrBeast has recently become the most subscribed YouTuber by overtaking PewDiePie, and today I want to talk about his effect on YouTube and why I don't like it. Like many other creators, MrBeast started by making Minecraft videos, humble beginnings to me, very humble. That style of content obviously didn't last long as he went to Call of Duty commentary, then camera commentary like this, and then eventually started doing challenge videos with his friends, which just kind of evolved into what it is today. Here we are today, and he has over 100 million subscribers and fans that treat him like he's Jesus. I wish I was joking. Watch this video by Colin and Samir. They genuinely treat him like Jesus. Since MrBeast started gaining about 1 million subs a month, people have started to copy his style. They wanted part of the MrBeast pie. Fuck, I should have said burger. Wait, they wanted a part of the Beast burger. What's the next biggest thing to being inspired by someone? Exactly, copying everything they do. Now there's a bunch of content creators that essentially just bootleg MrBeast, and I want to talk about that. MrBeast has appeared in many podcasts where he has a habit of talking down on other creators, but when he's not doing that, he's talking about this thing that he discovered that's really good for YouTube videos, which is called retention hacking, which is essentially just where you throw shit at the screen so it grabs your attention so people don't click away, and as many people as possible watch as much of the video as possible. YouTube likes this because it means that people stay on the platform longer. They get more watch time, meaning that they get to advertise more things, meaning that not just is it good for the creator because the creator then gets more money, but it's also good for YouTube because then YouTube gets more money. In other words, the way MrBeast describes it, you can have a single scene in a video for longer than 3 seconds without putting a single cut in it, which means that I just failed. But most importantly, it means that apparently viewers do not have any patience at all to watch anything that's longer than 3 seconds without some stupid sound effect or text effect or cut or whatever. And also that viewers care less about you, the creator, and they care more about the content and the type of video that you're making. They care more about the topic you're talking about than about you as the person, which makes sense for a channel with my size, but the minute you have a slightly larger audience, that doesn't really make sense in my opinion. Especially if you consider like gaming content, which like 90% of gaming content, the success is based on how you strive as a personality, the way you make it entertaining for other people when you yourself are just sat there playing a video game. So he's not quite right on that, but it's whatever. He talks so passionately about these things that I am convinced that he's in love with the YouTube algorithm. I'm convinced that so many people saw that interview that he did with Colin and Samir that they treat it as the YouTube Bibles. We'll get to that in a minute because it will be one of the big 3 points that I'm making in this video. And I personally also think that the 3 things that he did mention, those being that you need to have a lot of effects to keep people's attention, you need to have an interesting topic because they don't care about you, they care about the topic, and the fact that your personality really isn't that important, so having less of a personality, meaning that there's no glass ceiling, are really important. Those are what he said. Because a lot of people do basically act exactly the same in their videos as MrBeast does. And I also think that those 3 points prove exactly what's wrong with MrBeast's videos. Why they have been becoming stale the last few years, even though they have technically becoming more impressive, they're just becoming less interesting to watch. 100%, the direct answer is just that there's no passion, soul in those videos. It's just a guy screaming about a factory and then having a new cut every 3 seconds, getting rid of all emotional attachment you could get to any of the participants. It's just production value with a random money budget put onto it. I mean, he took a guy and separated him from his family for 100 days and somehow there's no emotion in that video, at least barely. And even videos where there should be a heavy usage of emotion, but there barely isn't any, the video bombs and isn't quite as successful as it should be and only gets 50 million views. MrBeast has this mentality where views equals video quality, which obviously is stupid. But by that logic, is Baby Shark peak entertainment? Does that make McDonald's the best restaurant in the world? Obviously the answer to both of those things is no, but I feel like McDonald's is also kind of the perfect description for MrBeast's content. It's the lowest common denominator. No one actively dislikes the flavor of McDonald's food, but also no one would willingly admit that it's their favorite. If almost everyone can like your content, it means that it's playing it really safe, and that also there's nothing really much about it that you can dislike, meaning that there's also not much about it that you can like. In other words, if it's the lowest common denominator, how can it be the best if it's essentially just the safest option? Yes, this tactic clearly works. I mean, he's the #1 most subscribed YouTuber for a reason. But like I said, he's literally the definition of the lowest common denominator, which isn't really a sign of making the best YouTube videos. MrBeast has simplified his content so much for a robotic algorithm that you could replace him with any other person that can match his energy and the videos would be exactly the same. And with energy, I don't mean his personality. That barely exists in the videos. With energy, I just mean someone who can yell much. And that's a problem because that implies that MrBeast isn't about MrBeast anymore. It's about the idea behind the video and nothing else. In other words, the videos have no soul. Now, maybe you actually enjoy MrBeast content. That's completely fine. I don't want to shit on something that you like. This is just my personal opinion. Like, maybe you think that MrBeast not eating for 30 days is the best video on the internet. I'd have many questions about you, but that's a possibility. I just personally enjoy videos more where I can actually have some form of attachment towards the creator of the video. Now, with that, I don't mean a parasocial relationship where I care about them and who they date and stuff like that. I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about the general emotional connection that you would also have with a fictional character in a movie. Investment and care for whatever happens in the video, and not just wow, this is cool. Because that's essentially what MrBeast videos are now. MrBeast has thrown himself so much into this robotic degree where he essentially loses all personality in his videos, and only because a robotic algorithm told him that it's better like that. An algorithm that was literally just made to figure out how marketable something is. An algorithm which job it is to find the lowest common denominator. I mean, the more views the better the video, right? A robot that was made to show more marketable videos will not know what makes something good. At least it won't know what people like in a video. All it knows is that a video makes people stick around, meaning that YouTube gives more watch time, yada yada yada, the advertising thing that I just mentioned earlier. An algorithm has no sense of good storytelling, no sense of good characterization, and no sense of how well the video can attach to a viewer. All it knows is that viewers stick around. It doesn't even know what makes a video entertaining. All it knows is that you're stuck there, watching. That's it. MrBeast seems so convinced that his videos are really good because of this algorithm, and that also ended up with his videos just over time slowly losing the connection to his audience. There's a reason why people say that they miss the old MrBeast, and with that all they mean is this 2019-2020 MrBeast when he started blowing up and there was still an emotional connection between him and his viewers. You know, the times when Chandler was still losing every challenge, when MrBeast still uses friends in his videos or friends of friends, and there's basically nothing that had just random ass people in it. Because those were the times when not just did the participants show emotion and personality in their videos, so did Jimmy. MrBeast still had a personality in those videos, which he just doesn't have anymore. Because that was the time when the content was still about him and his friends having fun, when he was still broadcasting himself.